Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we are taking on Dare to Defy Stage 4. So this is Dare to Defy 4 Stage 4. And this is the one that dropped with Aranea and Sephiroth. And I thought, let's have some fun here. And I wanted to do Aranea and Dorgann, because Dorgann combos really well with a character like Aranea, right? Because Aranea is essentially breaking on every hit. Well, Dorgann, as you're seeing right here, my boy likes to follow up when the breaks happen. So Aranea is a very good character you compare with Dorgann. And, you know, if you're operating like an Aranea BT phase, well, Dorgann essentially becomes like a core. He's just slamming attacks down every single time she attacks, which is very good. And then if you happen to get an attack where maybe you can break one and the other one's unbroken, then Dorgann will get like double attacks. So yeah, characters like Sephiroth and Aranea, they combo really well with Dorgann, which now I think people are really kind of missing that Dorgann didn't come out according to his normal schedule because he works so well with these characters, right? So and maybe it's a good move on their part, because I think now it's building up more hype for Dorgann because we've got so many characters released recently that work really well with Dorgann, right? So it's Aranea, Sephiroth, and Iris, who are all characters we have had somewhat recently that work really well with Dorgann. And people, you can see like right now, I'm using Dorgann even without his upgrade. So Dorgann's only going to get better, right? So these bosses here, you can see they go in a mode where we hit them for zeros. It's because we need to break them. So Aranea is just really good. She can pop in and get the breaks, and then the enemies will take damage again. So they're just pushing either Sephiroth or Aranea with that because they both can make the enemies very easily breakable. This fight I didn't think was hard at all, by the way, as I think it was a fairly standard fight. Nothing too crazy here. And then I brought Garnet because she provides off turn and she's a really good support character. And this is Dare to Defy, so like I'm kind of limited on characters, but I did want like a really nice support character lumped in there with Dorgann. So that's why I decided to go with. So Aranea here, you know, the goal is to just get to a force time and get to her BT phase, and then have Dorgann and Garnet both doing off turn. While she's getting some insane stats, right? So, yeah, this was a pretty fun fight. And remember, with the Dare to Defy, if you have the Shinryu open, you get it completed for free with the Dare to Defy, which is what I did. And then, for my fun run, I kind of just on the side completed the co-op version of this, and then just ran co-op tickets, like 3 to 4 tickets, and it was like done, right? It was super easy to pretty much buy out the shop or everything I needed in the shop. So skip tickets are really good on the co-op Shinryu fights, right? But yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of Dorgann for sure, especially when Aranea is kicking around. Now, the enemies here, the one thing this team build doesn't have is we don't have force charging. So we essentially just have to play the fight and let the enemies get to their force, and then we just kind of go in and do our thing. And they're very easy to cancel in this fight. So Aranea's force is going to do that just fine. And then we're just going to go in and, yeah, just kind of break it. I really, yeah, don't remember having any issues with the fight. And the co-op one I thought for this fight is very easy as well. Because, like, if you co-op with someone and you have double or, like, triple Aranea, you're just going to break the enemies into oblivion and they're just never going to get a turn. So this is a nicer Shinryu to co-op. This is one, you know, if I were to pick a co-op, a Shinryu co-op to actually do without using skip tickets, this actually isn't that bad of one to do, even if you want to go in and just keep soloing it, because you can just delay them to oblivion, and they just won't get a turn and you're fine, right? But yeah, I myself, I think I'm getting pretty hyped for Dorgann now, because, and I've got my Dorgann fully built and I like him, but to get him with some upgraded damage, I think is going to be really nice, and with the BT. So what I'm thinking is going to happen, because I feel like the rest of the month is kind of planned out. I don't know that they're going to have room to squeeze in Oran. I mean, possibly this week, because they could maybe fit something in. Because we just got these characters dropped on the 12th, and the next drop isn't until the 18th. So that's, 6 days away? And the next campaign banner isn't until the 20th. But I don't know. I feel like it's... I don't know, would they squeeze in a crevasse like tomorrow night or something? I don't know. I don't think they would. So what I'm thinking might happen is like maybe Oran would be like right at the beginning of August. I could maybe see that. And then Dorgann maybe just coming right after that. We'll have to see. I think for sure, like, they can't delay Oran and Dorgann, I think, any farther. So I think they for sure got to be hitting in August, like, no matter what. If they don't, like, surprise us and drop them in July at some point. But yeah, you know... And actually, I know they're not dropping Oran or anything, because they just dropped Chocobo panel missions, and they've got Quistis and Reigns on there, so we know that they're coming next. And so, yeah, they're going to be coming for the 6-man fight. And then there will be another campaign banner on the 20th. We don't know who it's going to be, but there could be someone like Warrior of Light. He is someone that was on a campaign in JP around this time. So if like Warrior of Light is there, he actually is like a really nice pickup. But it's really hard for me to do a should you pull when I really don't know what the banner is. I am going to do a should you pull, though, on the 6-man fight. And I don't know when this video is going to go up in relation to that. So that could already be up on my channel. I'm kind of like a little bit backlogged because I was gone all week. So now I'm like trying to put all the plethora of videos. So I'm going to spread them out a little bit. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of videos kind of close together here. I think I'm just going to drop this one right away. Yeah, I probably will. Alright, so we're finally about to get to our force time where we can start to take care of business. And Aranea is going to kind of do her thing. And, Dorgann's just poking in the extra, counter damage, which is really good. Because, yeah, Dorgann's doing what? Yeah, 500k is pretty good. And, if you're in a setup where he's breaking twice, he's doing like 1,000,000 damage counters, which is really good. So, and this is the non-upgraded Dorgann. So this man's going to get even better. So Dorgann is a really nice pickup counter character, especially if you like running Sephiroth or Aranea. Dorgann is a really nice pickup for off turn, for sure. For sure. All right, so now we are in and we are operating through Aranea's force time. We got them canceled out. And so now, the conditions being very easy, we just have to, what is it? Oh no, sorry, that was Sephiroth's have the stacking buff. Aranea's is what, like doing crit damage and something else, but it'll be fine. We'll get through just fine here. I can't remember off the top of my head what her conditions are, but I'm pretty sure one was crit damage. All we know is Aranea is going to be triggering the best she can. Yeah, 95% is really good. And now Dorgann's off turn is just going to get bigger and bigger. Yeah, he's already doing over 1,000,000 off turn. So Dorgann's going to be looking pretty good here. And I think the best part about Dorgann getting the upgrade isn't even the BT, it's the fact that he's going to have Echo. Him having Echo is going to give him a lot more value. Because as it stands right now, I think for like traditional off-turn damage dealers, I think Core is the only other one that's got Echo. So adding Dorgann to that is awesome as well. The reason I say traditional off-turn is I would say Garnet and Aerith, they are considered off-turn, but they're like non-traditional, right? They don't tick every single turn, but they have Echo and they're great as well. I think Kane getting Echo will be really nice when that happens. I think he's a ways off, though. I feel like JP kind of just recently got Kane's Echo, so I think it's actually going to be a while. All right, but here we are. We're already over 300%. We still have 9 turns left. Dorgann now is putting up, what, over 2 mil. So Dorgann's going to get kind of nutty here because he's going to be countering every single time or following up every time Aranea takes a hit. So it's really just waiting until we're down to about turn 7 on an Aranea turn. We go into burst phase and this fight's going to absolutely explode. It's going to explode out of here. And, Aranea doing the launching as well. Like, dude, she's so good. So good. Yeah, already 18 mil and we've barely cranked up the force gauge. Just so much damage. I feel like I just have such a plethora of good DPS characters now. It's kind of crazy. Because for a while, I was just kind of in this mode that was like, pretty much like Tifa was the main thing I'm running. And now it's like, we got Rex, we got Sephiroth, we got Lightning, we got Aranea. Like, all these just insane damage dealers. And then we haven't even hit Astos yet. We haven't even hit the boy Astos yet. We've just got so many good damage dealers. So yeah, feeling very good. And even Yuffie, right? Like, Yuffie really surprised me how much damage she can do. When she's landscaping, man, she's doing some damage. Alright, so we got 0 there. I think that was, I had the, whatchamacallit called, the Raijin call, I think, was down there. Alright, so here we go. Aranea burst phase. They're at 70-something%, and I'm pretty sure we're going to crush them. We are going to vitally crush them down to 0 with the Vital Crusher pun there. So yeah, we're going to be launching through, and dude, yeah, big damage all around. We're at 500%. So Aranea at 500% here on the Stair to Defy, 31 million. Whew, yeah, and you can see they're just melting away already. The nice thing about, because this is the type of fight that they'll do interruptions to like stop you from doing this strat. Because if you're not using Aranea and you have no way to like instant break, like you're going to get caught. Because you're going to be, like any turn during a force where you do 0 damage is a huge waste of a turn, right? The nice thing is Aranea, we know we're always breaking. So if they go into yellow aura, we don't care. Now, if you're not doing Aranea on this fight, I think going into a burst phase probably isn't wise. unless the character you're using has a way to trigger the break, because you don't want to miss out on damage. So you want to do something where like you have a character on the team that you know can break. Having some type of instant break is good, or Sephiroth BT. The nice thing is on this fight, you could go through the BT phase with anybody, like I'm doing with Aranea, as long as you have a Sephiroth BT effect up, or even Iris. Like, Iris would be good enough. It won't trigger every turn, but it'll be often enough that you should be fine. Because as long as you break, you get that yellow Oregon, and you're good to go. So yeah, we're just we're just crushing through. Dorgann now at 700%. Dude, yeah, Dorgann, is that 5 million? That's insane. That's pretty good. Maybe that was 500k, but I feel like, no, that was 5 million, because he's doing 500k normally. So yeah, that had to be 5 million. Dude, Dorgann hits really hard, which is why, you know, and I think that's the trade-off, right? The reason why Dorgann hits so hard for off-turn is because it's not something you're intended to trigger all the time. It's only supposed to be when you break, but we have so many mechanics in the game where you can just break as much as you want. Dorgann can go crazy. So yeah, I'm excited for his Echo. I'm going to use him a lot more once he gets Echo for sure. Yeah, so that was, yeah, 6 mil legit. 6 mil AoE off turn. Kind of crazy for Dorgann. And once again, because we got Aranea, he's just doing it every single time. If we had Sephiroth BT effect up with this, like Aranea, Sephiroth, and Dorgann, that's kind of nutty too, because Sephiroth would be resetting and he would be getting those double breaks like every time. It'd be kind of crazy. As long as you do single target damage, you can do double breaks. Because you're always going to have two breakable enemies. You break one of them, the other one's left broken for Dorgann's counter. When his counter breaks, then he does another counter. It's pretty crazy. So Dorgann works really well. Like Dorgann, Sephiroth, and Tifa is actually pretty nasty, because Tifa will do a lot of single target. Really heavy single target, right? And Sephiroth is always resetting, and then you always get double Dorgann. So yeah, there's a lot of like really nasty combos you can do with Dorgann. He is a pretty fun little dude. All right, 52 million, pretty good. And these enemies you can see are like evaporated at this point. Yeah, and then just melted away. And then Dorgann's like, sure, I'll come in on that. That would have finished him off, dude. 8 mil from Dorgann off turn. It's very heavy damage. So looking forward to seeing Dorgann after his rework. Like, this is him without the rework. Pretty nutty. And Aranea, it's so funny, like every animation, they always do her jumping up and spinning. And what was that, 393 million? So there you go. Absolutely blowing up the Defy. Super easy with these crazy busted characters, right? I don't think this fight's too bad. I think this is a very beatable fight. Even if you don't have Aranea, like you just have to have some way to deal with the breaking mechanics and you're good to go. So anyways, let me know what you guys did for this fight. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.